God's people had been divided into two kingdoms for many years, Judah and Israel. Amos lived in Judah. He raised sheep and grew fruit. One day God said to Amos, "Go prophesy to my people Israel." Amos obeyed. He went to Israel to tell the people God's message. The people of Israel were successful and powerful. They were ruled by King Jeroboam. Jeroboam was an evil king. But the people knew he could have been worse. God could see what no one else could see. God could see his people's hearts. The people did not love God. They were greedy and unfair. They sinned a lot. God was planning to punish the people of Israel for their sins. Amos's job was to warn the people. First, Amos said that God was going to punish the countries around Israel because they had done terrible things. But then Amos said that God was going to punish Judah and Israel too. That was news God's people did not want to hear. Amos said, "An enemy will come and take away everything you have." Amos reminded the people of all the times they turned away from God. "Seek God and live," Amos said. God didn't want people to just pretend they loved God. He didn't want them to make offerings or sing songs to him if they didn't mean it. God wanted his people to be righteous. "I will send you into exile," God said. God's people would be forced to leave their country. God showed Amos visions of what Israel's punishment would be like. A vision is like a dream, except Amos wasn't sleeping. First, God showed that he was going to send locusts. The locusts ate up the crops. Amos asked God not to send the locusts. God agreed. Then God showed Amos a fire. The fire burned up the land. Amos said, "God, please stop." So God agreed not to send the fire. Then God showed Amos a plumb line. A plumb line is a tool used to measure how upright or straight something is. God would measure the righteousness of Israel and then punish them for their sins. God showed Amos a basket of ripe summer fruit. God said Israel was like the ripe fruit. It would soon be rotten. God would soon throw Israel out. Then Amos saw God standing beside the altar. The message to Israel ended with a reminder. God is merciful and loving. God's plan wouldn't end with Israel's punishment. One day, God would rebuild King David's family. God promised to bless Israel and make the people successful again. God promised that his people would never again be taken from their land. God is holy and just, but he is also loving and gracious. God wanted his people to turn back to him, but they refused. Israel faced the punishment for their sin. God sent Jesus to take the punishment for our sin. God accepts anyone who trusts in Jesus as Lord and Savior.